The Philippines is a nation on the move. Progress has given its people a better standard of living, better infrastructure, and the means to a brighter future. Progress, however, has come at a price. Our urban areas have lost their once verdant tree cover. Gone are the clean rivers teeming with fish. Gone are the trees alive with the sounds of birds. We are now seeing a generation growing up whose idea of nature is what they see on TV or in pictures. But did you know that there exists an oasis teeming with birds, lagoons, and mangroves right in busy Metro Manila? Nestled between the cities of Las Piñas and Parañaque in Manila Bay are two islands known collectively as the Las Piñas Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area, or LPPCHEA. The LPPCHEA is a wetland ecosystem of around 175 hectares that was declared as a critical habitat in 2007 by Presidential Proclamation number 1412. Furthermore, the LPPCHEA was recognized as a wetland of international importance by the Ramsar Convention in 2013 due to the critical role it plays not only in the survival of threatened bird species, but in the Earth's overall ecology as well. The Las Piñas Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area, composed of Long Island and Freedom Island, come alive with multitudes of migratory birds, especially from the months of August to April. It is an important resting and refueling stop for migratory birds coming from China, Japan, and Siberia on their way to Australia using the East Asian Australasian Flyway Network. According to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, and the Wild Bird Club of the Philippines, as many as 5,000 birds roost and feed here during migration season. Presently, there are around 82 wild bird species that visited the LPPCHEA, 41 of whom are migratory. Resident bird species include the endemic Philippine duck, classified as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or IUCN Red List, the black-crowned night heron, the white-collared kingfisher, yellow-vented bulbul, and more. Migration season brings more species, like the whiskered tern, Chinese egret, another vulnerable species according to the IUCN, and the black-winged stilt, among others. The LPPCHEA is known to host at least 1% of the total global population of the black-winged stilt. Birdwatchers report sightings of even rare species, like the pied avocet, Siberian rubythroat, and gray-tailed tattler. The LPPCHEA is of prime importance, not just to birdwatchers, but to young people who wish to see the beauty of our feathered friends in their natural environment. The LPPCHEA gives us not just a chance to commune and appreciate various bird species, but its thick mangrove forest serves as a protective barrier against storm surges and high tides, keeping the areas of Las Piñas and Parañaque safe from the devastating effects of these natural phenomena. Mangrove forests are also known to aid in the sequestration of considerable amount of carbon from the atmosphere. The mangrove forest of the LPPCHEA is the thickest and most diverse of the remaining mangroves of Manila Bay. There are 11 mangrove species growing in this area. These include bungalon, bakawan babae, bakawan lalaki, bakawan bato, pototan, kolasi, pagatpat, banalo, tabigi, saging-saging, buta-buta, and nilad. DENR-NCR has recently introduced the nilad in the area on an experimental basis. Interestingly, Manila is said to have derived its name from the nilad, and the continued propagation of the species provides an interesting highlight to the conservation efforts at the LPPCHEA. Of interest to scientific researchers and nature lovers are the mudflats, ponds, lagoons, and salt marshes of the El Pipichea. The unique ecosystem of this critical habitat provides a home for various mollusks and bottom-dwelling aquatic animals, which in turn serve as food for the thousands of birds that roost here. The El Pipichea's importance in the livelihood of the area's fisherfolk is immeasurable, as it was observed by the National Fisheries Research and Development Institute to be the hotspot for fish spawning in the eastern part of Manila Bay. The wonder that is the Las Piñas Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area has been described as the last natural bastion in Metro Manila. Its mangroves provide an effective natural barrier against ravaging storm surges. Fish spawn in the thick roots of its mangrove trees, providing food and livelihood to the people of nearby areas. Its mudflats and marshes provide a sheltering rest stop for thousands of migratory and endemic bird species. Most of all, the unique ecosystem of the El Pipichea provides nature lovers and our youth a view of what our environment should be if we respected and took care of it. It provides all of us a look at the circle of life as nature intended it to be. If we and future generations are to enjoy and benefit from the El Pipichea, we must act as one to save and protect this coastal wonderland. Today, it is under constant threat from wastes from nearby cities, from planned land development projects, from loss of its mangrove cover, and other concerns. Together, we can clean up its beaches, marshes, and lagoons. We can control the sources of man-made pollution. We can propagate and protect its mangrove forests. We can pass laws that will ensure the survival of this habitat and others like it. If we all work together today, tomorrow will be a brighter day for the Las Piñas Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area. Visits to the El Pipichea at the moment are free. Just secure a permit from the DENR office in Diliman for a guided eco-tour of this world-renowned natural habitat. With the sea breeze blowing through your hair, the sights and sounds of unique wild bird species, the calming green of thousands of mangrove trees, and the wonderful feeling of communing with nature at its finest, these are what makes a visit to the El Pipichea priceless. The Las Piñas Parañaque Critical Habitat and Ecotourism Area is ours to protect and ours to cherish.